Hi, good day. It's that day. Judgment. Judgment. I am not sure if I've actually done a video on judgment. I need to actually check in my history of videos. But as I'm talking, thinking, and pondering, and driving in the traffic and struggling with understanding how people operate and do things, in the greater picture of things, and I'm sure you've heard this as well, do not judge others. Well, it's very hard not to judge other people. Judgment is something that we need to use as a tool. As I would say about your emotions that come to you, it's like judging people is a tool you can use to work out for yourself, why do they aggravate you so? Why are you driving in the traffic and getting frustrated? So you'll judge yourself for being angry, for you trying to work with your inner peace, as I am. So I'm actually talking from experience as well. And I'm getting incredibly angry with the lawlessness of the roads, people just pushing in, people just hooting and, wanting you to move out the way and just taking advantage of doing the wrong thing. And it aggravates me. And I can talk about a scenario that happened many years ago. I was it was at a guest lodge, and I was having a glass of wine with friends, and we were chatting, and in walked this lady. And as I know that I'm not meant to be judging, and I do not judge, and all of this, I'm trying to be the very, very good person in life. And she walks in, she's got the longest legs, the highest heels, the shortest dress and skirt, but she looked super sexy. She really, really did. Even for a woman to a woman, looking at that, we all looked up, we watched, and I actually checked everybody out. Their heads all turned, and we watched her walk along the path, and she went off and joined her people, laughing and joking and carrying on. And I actually looked at everybody else and wondered, what are you all thinking? Because she really looked beautiful. She was stunning, she was gorgeous, but like almost to the point that she was, I would say, not correctly dressed for the place. She did it deliberately. And actually, I did find out later on by one of the other people in the complex that I knew. He turned around and said to me, she kind of pulled him aside and she said, you know what? I actually like walking into places where people turn their heads and they watch me walk. She likes being judged. She likes being seen. So she does it on purpose. And, at the end of the day, why not? If she likes doing that, she's entitled to her way of being, her way of creating the attention. She likes the attention. So I think sometimes, judgment, we mustn't be too harsh on how we judge others, how we look at people. Some people are going to look at that and all sorts of names are going to flood in and go like, oh, why is she doing that and how, da, da. Other people are going to look and say, sure, that's a gorgeous woman. It all depends how you're going to be doing your judging. At the end of the day, you're entitled to your thoughts, you're entitled to your opinions. I think it's how you go about operating with judgment. We judge ourselves. And it is okay as long as you're using the information that's coming to you and doing something with it. I don't think we need to keep our judgments always to ourselves. They can be conversational. So you can actually talk to other people without gossiping. You get gossip that is nasty, and then you get gossip that is just talking about. So it's not exactly gossip, it's discussions about how you view other people, how you view their psychology. I love to take things so much deeper and say, okay, I wonder what she is going through. Maybe she enjoys that. She needs that attention. She feeds off of it for whatever reason. And that's okay. It's also a phase that she'll be going through. You'll never know. In 6 years' time, she's going to do that exact same walk, and she's going to be wearing jeans and a loose t-shirt and tackies, and maybe she still carries herself beautifully and people still look and carry on. Or you're kind of going to glance up and go like, sure, okay, that's a person walking. You're not even going to acknowledge or recognize that it's her because she's now gone through that phase. Many of these phases are phases. They're not forever. Some people love image. Image is just one of those things. That's how they carry themselves, and that is what it is for whatever reason. That image is important to them. And judging is okay. So, as much as we want to say don't judge and whatever, it depends how you're judging people, how you're looking at the process, what you're doing with the information that comes your way, and how you carry yourself with how other people affect you. So, if they're affecting you in a certain way, use the information. If they make you feel happy, there's more information for you. Sometimes it's unhappy information. Sometimes it's information that makes you feel less of yourself. Why does that happen? Again, all these things that are happening in our lives are there as tools to show you how you need to be. Do you want to go and befriend that person? Do you want to go talk to them? Do they make you feel scared? Why do they make you feel scared? What is the situation that judgment creates within yourself? So I hope that helps with a little bit more information. I'm terribly sorry if I have repeated stuff, but some videos make their way to people, other videos come across differently. I say it differently, and that's the video that is available for whoever's meant to come across my information. So if you want to discuss issues about judgment and how you deal with judgment, what aggravates you, what you'd like to know more about it, definitely please email me at lifesmartfd@gmail.com, and let's create communication around the process and see where we can take this information. I do like to work one-on-one. I prefer to grow it into groups, and we got to start somewhere. So one person, get to know each other, and then we can place each other in groups, and we take it from there. So person to person, group to group, community to community. Let's see where Live Smart Foundational Development and forward-thinking self-development can actually go, and how we can grow, becoming nicer people, working together in a newer way of thinking.